am a blind werewolf, and my world collapsed the moment I lost my mate. Chapter 10. After a few hours, I felt well enough to move again. I should have known better than to leave, considering how many times I've ended up here during the first month. Kya, my inner wolf, has been eerily silent since I arrived, and her absence is starting to worry me. Kya, I called out mentally. No response. Perhaps it's because I haven't seen or heard from Ryder in a while, except for that brief moment while I was unconscious. Of course, that's not surprising given the circumstances. Suddenly, I heard quick footsteps approaching, followed by a familiar sniffing sound. It was Ray, her energetic presence filling the room. Hey, where were you? Ryder said there was a rogue breach and you were hurt. He came in here rushing with you unconscious in his arms, she exclaimed, her words tumbling out in a rush of concern and excitement. As Ray continued her animated rambling, I couldn't help but feel a twinge of guilt. Ryder had carried me here. I am fine, I managed, unable to reveal that it was Ryder himself who had knocked me unconscious. Oh, that's great to hear. Ray's enthusiasm was infectious. Anyway, I was thinking, you may girls' day out shopping. Get you some new clothes. I smiled weakly, appreciating her attempt to cheer me up. Well, Elp, I'm gonna need your help cause. You know. I gestured vaguely at my eyes. Well, duh. So is that a yes? I nodded, and Ray let out a cheer that echoed through the room. Okay, shower, and I'll help you get ready, she instructed. I sniffed the air, realizing we had made it to my room. I'll try to get Annie. I'm already late, Ray called out as she dashed off. I simply nodded, feeling my way around the familiar space of my room and into the bathroom. My fingers brushed against a towel already hanging on the rack. With a sigh, I sat on the toilet, waiting for Ray's return. Minutes ticked by, and I groaned in frustration. Where was she? Suddenly, I heard the door to my room open, followed by grumbling. Heavy footsteps approached the bathroom, and a knock sounded on the door. Why are you here? I croaked, my voice dry and strained. The door opened, and I heard it close behind the unexpected visitor. Annie had to help someone with their baby, and the rest of the female Ongezo were not available. I have to help you, Ryder's gruff voice explained, tension evident when he said female. Oh, okay, I stammered, biting my lip awkwardly. I won't look, Ryder assured me, his usual confidence wavering. Was that a stutter I detected? I grumbled under my breath before sighing in resignation. Fine. I trailed off, unsure how to finish that sentence. Does mate not want to look? KY's voice suddenly echoed in my mind. Where the hell have you been? I demanded internally. Out and about, she replied cryptically, her tone making me suspicious. I heard Ryder shuffling, presumably turning around. Carefully, I felt for the faucet, managing to turn on the water. As I began to undress, I felt my cheeks burn with embarrassment. Like HE's gonna want to look at anything. He hates me, I thought bitterly. No, mate doesn't hate you. Mate KYA began, but I cut her off. Yeah, sure. I removed my shirt gingerly, hissing at the stinging sensation from the scars on my back. The baggy shorts came off next, followed by my undergarments. Hesitantly, I stepped into the tub, trying not to slip. I turned off the water and slid down, ensuring Ryder wouldn't see me, all the while grappling with my conflicting emotions about my mate's presence. Oh, okay, you see, look, I heard shuffling and he took in a sharp breath. I put my head down, trying to get rid of the sense that his eyes were taking over my body. Why, you're so skinny. Thanks. Like an healthy skinny. I gulped and he walked over to where the cabinets are pulling a liquid bottle out a splash. He was probably pouring in the bubble mix. I swished my hand through it and I felt the bubbles come up. I relaxed a bit. So, you want me to do your hair or? Yes, please, he grunted. I responds and felt him reach over me to get the bottle. He was standing there way too long. I could just feel his gaze burning through me. He gulped and I heard a squirt and he dug his hands into my hair, washing it. Sparks, like fireworks, made its way through my body, and before I could stop it, I let out a soft moan. He immediately stopped and I put my hand to cover my mouth, realizing what I just did. He growled lowly at himself. He kept continuing, and soon enough I heard a cup being dragged through the water and he poured some of the soapy water on my head. Dodo, you need help with washing your body. Oh well, actually I can take it from here, thank you. I coughed a bit nervously. I can't let him see my scars, and I bet there was bruises there too. On, at least let me help you with your back. My brows raised. No. I cleared my throat. I'm fine. I'm good, I'm good, just go. He was growing suspicious. I know it. Okay, whatever. His voice went back to its cold dead one, making me sigh. I heard him walking out and closing the door behind him on the way out. I sighed in relief. Kya suddenly got quiet again, but I didn't think much of it. I searched for the washcloth and managed and stood up in the tub, my back to the door. I grunted from the slight pain and I got some soap, starting to wash myself. Painfully. I hated them. They made me weak. They reminded me of how weak of a wolf I am and how I'm a waste of space at times. That's when I heard a gasp and a heartbeat. I was stunned. I didn't even turn. An angry voice ran through the air. Who gave you those stars? Is that what you're hiding from me? He growled out, making me flinch. I was so vulnerable right now. I still had my back turned to Ryder and I heard him angrily walk forward. He grabbed my wrist and turned me to face him. He stopped for a moment. I could sense his wolf attempting to come out. Get dressed. You are going nowhere with Ray. You are with me. We need to talk. He was flashing in and out of his wolf. I heard him give a frustrated groan and he walked out, slamming the door behind him. I'm in trouble. Chapter 11. Scared. Afraid. Terrified. My feelings were blind through me. I was petrified. I pulled over a silky shirt and tied my cloth around my eyes. He knows. I whimpered at the thought. What is he going to make me tell him? I didn't want to tell him anything. I don't know what he would do to me. Maybe the same as Jace. That thought killed me. My best friend. Locked in a cell, probably being starved and tortured. All because he came to see me. Just to look at me. I gulped and walked out of my room, following his scent. Scents can have feelings to them or say something about a person if the feeling is out and strong. Ryder's was in a rage. His scent strained and tensed. I shivered and stopped abruptly. I was in front of his office door. His scent was strong and he seemed to be pacing inside. He stopped. I pulled on the doorknob and letting myself in. Shut the door, he growled out. I whimpered and closed the door behind me. Lock it, I turned the little knob, locking the door. Ghosted, I nodded and found my way over to a soft couch. Sitting down. Explain, I sensed him in front of me. I can't. I broke the silence that was he soberous. He growled and then I heard a crash. I flinched at the noise, angry. Why can't you tell me? His wolf. It sent shivers down my spine. I just. See, can't, I'm scared. He crouched in front of me and I felt his hand grab mine and another one of my leg. I gasped. Please. Ryder is a jackass for hurting you, probably making your scars worse, my love. Please. Just let me help you. I shook my head and felt tears streaming down. I was shaking. No, they will kill me. They will kill me. I pulled away from his grip, curling up into a ball. No one will kill you as long as I'm here. He was turning back to Ryder. Please don't let him come back. Who? Ryder's wolf had whimpered, seeming to be fighting with himself. Ryder, I don't want him here. That's when he grew silent and my hand flew up to my mouth, stifling a gasp. Ryder, dang, let me out. This is my body. And I give you power now. Shut the hell up. Something happened to mate. I mentally groaned and just watched the scene unfold, attempting to get out. No, they will kill me. They will kill me. She pulled away from Dane's grip, curling up into a ball. No one will kill you as long as you. I almost got out. Please don't let him come back. Dane gave her a confused look. running a hand through my hair. Houdain whimpered as I almost got out of the link. Ryder, I don't want him here. That's when I stopped, my heart dropping into the out of my stomach. It was silent. She hates you. She shut up. I got out of the link, allowing myself to come back. My eyes turning back. Why don't you want me back? She broke out into a sob. She tucked her head into her knees, which were at her chest. I reached out and all she did was scoot away, my face softening. Emmy, he came back saying that, and she broke down, shaking more. No. D, don't call me that. Don't. I gritted my teeth. Just tell me, who gave you those scars? I said softer. Her face lifted up a bit, probably trying to sense my moves. My stepfather. You have a stepfather, she nodded sadly. She then curled up into a ball again. I need Chase, said softly. I felt my throat go dry and I clenched my fist. You don't need a rouge to help you. Your ma, you didn't admit that before. You didn't admit that when introducing me to your sister. To any pack members. You kicked me, punched me open my wounds, called me names. I want Jace. Her voice was powerful and Dame seemed to submit. Fine, ice pat. Walking to the door and slamming it behind me. I angrily walked over to the guard tower and pack members stared me looks. I groaned and walked down the steps. Marland or cell block of 5. Open, I heard a yes alpha and a buzzard sound. I walked to where the cell was and stared down at the crippled man. Your lucky Emerald needs you, or I would have had a new head decoration for my walleye and his chains making him get up. I pushed him along to the pack house. Wolves were on guard already as he entered. I kept pushing him along, getting to my office. I opened the door, throwing him in, and he fell, making Emerald gasp. Have a fun time with that. I shut the door. Emerald. Have a fun time. He slammed the door and I scrambled over to where I heard Jace fall. Jace. I'm so sorry. I hate. It's okay, No, it's not. HS a monster. HES your mate. He coughed out and his head rested in my lap. I gasped. How do you? Sixth sense, he strained. I let out a pained laugh and his hand came over mine. He needs you. You shouldn't be with me. He coughed and I kept my head down. Is horrible. Look what he did to you. I don't think you can look what he did to me. I felt my lip go up into a smirk. Touch, he chuckled a bit and started to wheeze. But seriously, give him a chance. The past is already done. At least allow him to try and make your future better. You can tell him. How do you KNO 7 cents? I playfully slapped his chest and he chuckled. Now go, he coughed again and I rubbed circles in his hair. Will you be fine right here? Y'all good Go chapter 12 running. It's my only possible way to live. I can't really fight. But I would run in a forest with obstacles. Now an empty hallway in which made me feel I was walking into oblivion. I kept trying to follow his scent, almost bumping into people. They went out my way as I sped past them. Watch it, bitch, I heard a sneer. A woman. Sorry, hun, but I think we are all bitches here. I kept running and stopped in front of a room. It was his room. I could sense mine next to his. I held in my breath. He was still angry. I could feel it. I hesitantly knocked on the door and I waited. He stopped whatever he was doing and I heard silence. Ryder. My voice croaked. I rested my head against the door. Ryder. Please let me in, I sniffled. Let me explain everything. Please. The door opened, almost making me stumble, but he caught me. Wouldn't you rather be in the arms of the Rouge? Dace, was it? I whimpered at his response, getting out his arms and entering his room. He closed the door and I heard him leaning against it. Rouges, I said, letting my held breath out. Rouges. Like Jace. No, this was before Jace was a Rouge, before he went with. I stopped myself and swallowed back my bile that was building up. Went with who? Tell me. He came closer. I crossed my arms and then he grabbed me by my shoulders. Tingles. His father. I walked away from his grip, feeling a bit anxious. My back was turned to him. My stepfather, I finished. I heard him sigh in relief and my head tilted to him. He was born Rouge where he met his mate in my pack. Then what happened to her? I took a shaky breath. This is when I had my vision, where I could see everything. She was hanged for loving a rouge. A disgrace to the pack. I felt him move closer to me only to make me walk away and sit down on a bed. They made you witness that, didn't they? Me and Jace were tied to the hip. His father wasn't even there. He left his son with her, and her son had to watch me with him. It's one of the only memories of my sight have I felt tears streaming down my face from the memory. This was before Alpha Carson. His father was in rain, so do not blame him. He grunted at my response, and I felt the bed dip next to me. Carry on, he whispered. I gripped the bed sheets under me as streams came down. My dad died in a war against the Rouges not long after, and my mother met him. They started to date, but kept it in secret. I gulped. Eventually, people thought that Jace and I were mates and took pity on me. They eventually led to the bullying. Hence the bruises that never really healed on my hip. I felt a hand on my thigh. I tilted my head up. If you don't feel like continuing, you don't have to. You should get some rest, I nodded, and he wiped away a tear from my face with his soft hand. I leaned into his touch inside and content. What are we? I mean, you my mate, but you hate me. You beat me around others, and alone you're sweet. My voice came out raspy, probably because of the tenseness in my throat. I don't know. He got up from his position, meaning he had to pull away. I immediately felt cold. You are staying here tonight. I don't want you out of my sight, he growled. I bit my lip, nodding. Now stay here, I have to deal with your rouge. I grabbed his arm before he could leave, keeping my head down. Please don't hurt him, he snorted. Please, I begged. He pulled away and walked out the door. I lay back in the sheets, and his smell immediately went around me. I sighed again and curled up into a ball, pulling he covers over me. I felt calm in this scent. I eventually found sleep. Come on, little slut. Beg for me to stop. I kept my mouth closed and eyes wide open as I felt him kick me. I heard a few cracks, and eventually he stopped getting out of my view. I let out my breath and regretted it, feeling pain near my stomach. He came back into view with a whip in hand. Beg. A crack went through the air, and then my scream. Where is my mom? She should be here. Plead before I can finish. Another sharp pain raced across my back. Darl, please. Street, I screamed again, feeling the whip on my skin. I called him, hear you. He went out of view again. Mother will leave you. When I tell her. He crouched down low in front of me, the memory seeming too real. How could you tell her what you saw me do if you can't see? He quizzed. I looked at him in utter confusion. My 14-year-old self didn't know that what she saw will be her last. He came closer, and a spiked whip went across my cheek. Sure enough, gonna leave his car. No, please. Please, no. I won't tell, I will. You won't be able to tell anyway. Say bye, Emerald, I screamed, feeling the scars on my eyes sting, and someone was shaking me by my shoulders. Emerald. I tried kicking out of whoever was holding me, screaming. It's me, I stopped and sniffed the air, smelling Dylan's scent. Dylan, I cut him off, and he sighed. Ryder. It's Ryder. I felt tears streaming down my face as he pulled me into his bare chest, allowing me to cry my eyes out, or at least what's left of them. Chapter 13. Ryder, is she okay? Did she tell you? Without even thinking, I grabbed him off the couch, throwing him to the ground. He groaned, and I kicked at his stomach. I know enough to know your father is a disgrace. I kicked at him again, and he scrunched up, still groaning in pain. Fine. Fair enough, Carter, my voice boomed in my head. Alpha, what do you need? He responded within seconds. Rouge in my office. Bring him back to his cell. I'm going to bed. Yes, Alpha. Good night, Alpha. I shut off the mind link and walked out my office, leaving the man curled up into a ball on the ground. I almost slammed the door walking out. I don't like him. We should have killed him when we first saw him holding our mate. Stupid wolf, why should we care about a man holding something that isn't even ours? She is ours, you FO, I grumbled, shutting him out. Dane gets annoying. I walked back to my room, still a bit tense from the situation. I should have made her tell me more so I know how to deal with this stuff. But you didn't. I thought I shut you out. Yet again. Sadly unable to get rid of me. He teased. I walked inside my room and then stopped for a moment. She was there. Her face seemed calm for once. Peaceful. Normally, whenever I was around, her face would scrunch up and stare into oblivion with fear. I took a deep sigh. What is she doing to me? One moment I see her as nothing, then the next. Mine. Déjà vu hit me and I grumbled. I think I've even asking this question the day she got here. I cannot let her affect me. I mustn't be seen as weak. I can't. I'm a fucking alpha. A stupid girl cannot make me bow down at every command as I see the rest of the men in my pack who have mates. I slid off my shirt and pants and climbed underneath the covers. And I stared at her. That's all I could do. She laid there sleeping in my bed and for some reason, that factor could not allow me to sleep. I gulped and turned my back from her, shutting off the lamplight and staring at wall, till I fell asleep. I felt someone kick at my side and my eyes flew open. My instinct skicked and I looked at Emerald. She was scrunching up, her face twisting and tears running down her cheeks. She was sweating and seemed to be fighting with herself. Jarl, please, Street, oh God. Please don't tell me she's having a fucking nightmare. I groaned, feeling a slash of pain on my back. I gripped the sheets, trying not to scream out. Please. Please, no. I won't tell I woe. She was beginning to yell in pain. I felt as if a knife went across my cheek. I gripped it and grunted. I have to get her up. I have to. Another pain, but worse. My eyes stung, feeling like they were burning off. I roared, sitting up, and started to shake her by the shoulders. Emerald. She went to kick me, making me dodge. She screamed. It's me, I began, and she sniffed the air. Dylan and I frowned as the pain went away and sighed. Vampire Deception by Drake Mason and Ryder. An undocumented changeling and forced to cause as a low-level witch. It's Ryder, I mumbled. She was a mess. She looked like she just went to war. Dane took over, pulling her into my bare chest, and she grabbed onto me. Crying. No, not crying. Sobbing like there was no tomorrow. I unconsciously began to stroke her hair, and her sobbing turned into soft sniffles. Who? I want to name. Dane's voice was stern. She seemed to notice it. Jarl, her lips seemed to quiver at his name. I held your hand, rubbing circles on the knuckles with my thumb. Who is Jarl? Is he Jace's father? She whimpered at the name and she started to shake. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. I pulled her back in, feeling the warm liquid of her tears down my chest. Why, you're bleeding, she muttered. I felt her warm hand on my cheek, and its tongue, making me clench my teeth. I am fine, Emerald, my voice stern. Was it from my nightmare? Is that why you got it? Nightmares. When it has hurt in the dream. A mate can feel it. What the hell was she dreaming about? I nodded and she sighed. She started to get up and tugged on me. Where are we going? I asked. To clean you up. I hate the smell of blood, she grumbled, making me follow after her. She led me to the bathroom. Sit, she commanded, making my wolf, as whipped as he would be, sitting down on the countertop. I watched her as she went underneath me and reaching into the bottom cabinet. Which way is the first aid kit? She questioned. To the left, it should be towards the front in a box. She shuffled around and then she stopped. A face of her twashed over. Emerald, I said, and she gulped. If you want to hide your condoms, put them somewhere else, she said, and my throat's closed up. Fuck. She came back up with the first aid kit and I looked down. But that's okay. All men need their whores every once in a while, right? To suffice their needs. I growled lowly and she just stood there. The box opened and then she felt around looking for something. I heard something open and the cloth was applied to my cheek, making it stain. I growled and my hand grabbed her wrist. What are you doing? The wound has to be cleaned. It's Schulten's scar because it was a stupid nightmare, she seemed to grumble and continued. That's when I noticed her cheek. The scar. The same cheek that was bleeding for me. In that dream. Is that when you lost your eyesight? She stopped, her breath hitching in. She out her head down, biting her lip. Yeah, she then continued, and I felt a band-aid go on. There, you're done, she whispered, sending chills down my spine. Thank you. She started to walk away and back towards the room. For some reason, an aim took over. You can't sleep like that, your clothes are all wet. I'll get you something to wear. Without thinking, I was pulled into my closet and pulled out an old shirt of mine. She turned and blindly caught the shirt. What are you doing? Aren't you a little curious about what mate looks like in our clothes? I sucked my teeth, crossing my arms. Her back was turned to me as she slid off her shorts. I closed my eyes, my first clenching. Come on, and then I opened my eyes to see her in. Just my shirt. Okay, you've finally done something I approve of them. I got underneath the covers, watching her fall asleep. Chapter 14, Emerald. I groaned, feeling the senses rush back to me as I woke up. I slept really good last night. Well, except my visions that I had. I stretched a bit and my hand accidentally bumped into something. Someone. I pulled back, yelping a bit, and the person started to move. I shuffled backwards and then was stopped as I felt an arm around my waist. The person tugged on me, pulling me closer. My breath got heavy and I smelled Dylan. Wait. This is Ryder. I put my hands on his chest and started to pull away, only to make him pull me closer. He put his head in the crook of my neck, making me gasp. "Aw, Ryder," I whispered. He moved again, getting comfortable, and I heard his soft breath in my ear, feeling the tickling sensation on my neck. I bit my lower lip and sighed. He is such a heavy sleeper. I whined softly. My hands went up and they caressed his soft face. They found their way to his hair and I started to play with it, and he groaned, starting to get up. I pulled away and felt him grab my wrist. "What are you doing?" He growled softly, sounding half asleep. "You would let me go." "I needed to wake you up," I gulped, almost stuttering on my words, feeling how close he was to me. Sorry, I'll just go back to my room, I didn't mean to." "No," he growled, and his grip on me tightened. "I'm moving your stuff into my room." "You are staying where I can see you, got it?" I nodded and he let go of me. His heartbeat slowed and I got up, swinging my legs over the bed. I yawned, making my way to the door. "Where are you going?" he barked. I froze and kept my head down. "I am gonna get breakfast." My voice had squeaked a bit. He growled and I heard shuffling of the bed sheets, and he stood up. "Not in those clothes, you're not. I'll send someone to get you breakfast." "What clothes?" He chuckled. "You're in my shirt and just your dunnies." My shirt reaches high thigh. His wolf was coming out, making me bite my lip and want to hide. "Please let me out. Mate is nervous around us, you know." "Not now." Oh, so you plan for the future." If she was in front of me, I would want to smack her. I growled and heard him walk. I heard a door shut. He went to the bathroom. I heard the shower go on and I sighed. "I know you want to join him. Even though you can't see, you would want to be in the presence of our mate without clothes." She purred. "Why are you so horny?" "No reason. I just think it's fair. He saw you without clothes, you should be in his presence when he is." "Shut up." I walked to the bed, sitting back on it and rubbing circles on my temples. I heard him curse and my head shot up. I shuffled over to the bathroom door. "Ryder, are you okay?" I heard the shower go off and he groaned. "I forgot my towel. It's on the bed." Do you want me to get it?" It was maybe a few seconds until I got a response. Yes, his voice was low. I went back over to the bed, searching for the towel. I managed to grab it and steadily walked back to the bathroom. He opened the door and my face immediately turned red. "Why, your towel lies," squeaked out, making him grunt. He snatched it out by hands and then walked past me. Approval rate over infinity. Kia was jumping around, making me mentally groan. Ryder went through a drawer and I heard him getting dressed. He then stopped for a moment, his heart rate slowing. It was like that for a few minutes. "Ryder, everything okay?" He didn't respond at first. Then he let out a curse and rushed. I then felt a piece of clothing hit me in the face. "Put this on. We need to go now." I felt around, feeling it was sweatpants, and slightly blushed. "What's wrong?" I said, slipping into them and pulling the waistband. "Someone near the borders of the pack was murdered. There seems to be rouge activity." I stifled a gasp and then he grabbed my wrist, pulling on me. I stopped dead in my tracks. I don't think I can go with you." Emerald, don't be stubborn, we need to go. Now his grip tight and making me whimper as he led me through the pack house. I almost tripped a few times, catching myself, trying to keep up with his movements. OCM on and felt him pick me up bridal style, making me shriek, and he started to run. Hey, put me down. I slapped him on his bare chest and he grunted, mumbling something. I sniffed the air as he put me down, smelling wolves. They all seemed to be of a heart that rank. Then blood. I whimpered, smelling it, and a man approached us. Alpha. June Anderson. She had a mate. Louis Anderson, and 2 kids. No one survived except the toddler. It seemed as if Rouges were present. There was a note left by the adult's and eldest son's body. I heard a piece of paper being snatched away from the man's hand and into Ryder's, who read it. The gleaming shade of green, the shallow shade of red, for soon poor Emerald will be dead. I froze. Is the note signed? I whispered a bit. My voice small. Ryder growled, J.C. Emerald, who is that? I want to know now. He barked. I whimpered again and my head was low. Joel. J.A.'s father, your stepfather. I nodded, feeling tears stream down my face. The man who spoke through his letters in riddles. Chapter 15. This is a threat against this pack. The Rouges have killed our own and sent a message to another pack member stating their death date. I yelped a bit as Ryder slammed his hands down on the table. He had called his ally Alphas for a meeting and they came within the day. I'm sorry, Alpha Ryder, as much as we would, it is against our contract to help protect wanted members. I say give her to them before anyone else gets hurt. Her rank isn't that strong in your pack anyways. Just useless. I don't know the man's name. Nor did I know his scent due to the fact at least 5 more scents were there. I kept my head down and heard Ryder growl. Do not call her useless. Whimpers were heard in the room as his wolf threatened to come out. The fact that she is a lower rank Ryder and gonna have to agree with Alpha Alwork, another stern voice said. I felt my throat close up as the tears threatened to fall. Ryder took a shaky breath as I sensed him running a hand through his hair. I'm sorry, Ryder, but there is nothing we could really do. Another voice. Softer one. It's fine, I just gotta. Just can you excuse yourselves, I have to talk to Emerald. He sounded winded at this point. I heard cheers scrape the ground as everyone got up. Their footsteps leaving the room. The door slammed shut and then I heard a click. I don't know why you didn't just tell them I was your mate. He stayed silent. I got up and sniffed the air, making me way over to where he was. Why? You can trust me. My voice came out raspy and he took another shaky breath. I don't think I can, he growled. He then started to walk away, leaving me to frown. Something's wrong. I can sense it in your tone. He went stiff. I focused on my hearing. Nothing is wrong. His heart rate went up a bit. You're lying, he growled out, and I heard something crash. I flinched a bit. Something like glass was thrown my way. I stood still and I sensed he was starting to walk up to me. It was even hesitant. He kissed me. It was soft either. Rushed rough. But he seemed to be pouring his feeling out. His hands found my waist and he pushed me up against the wall that was there. Here was a loud bang from impact, making me yelp and allowing him more access. Our tongues were fighting for dominance, but he seemed to take over. I don't know how or when, but we made it over to the table in the middle of the room. I know due to the fact that I felt something under me other than the wall. Blindly my hand fumbled for his shirt and he helped me out, taking it off. I felt my leg wrap around his torso, pulling him even closer. Wait, what am I doing? As much as I wanted to, I howled and stopped. He was still in power in this situation. He then found his way to my neck. Oh, Ryder, shut up. He barked and then kissed me back on my lips again. I then felt my hands roaming his torso and then he pulled away. I felt his stare on me, burning right through me. It was silent. What the hell was that? Just shut up. Do not mention this. He walked over somewhere and I heard him pick up something. Do not tell anyone this. He then made his way back over to me, or so God help me, do not remind me of this again. Got it. I whimpered and then nodded my head. Now get out. I nodded again and jumped off the desk and booked it to the door. I fumbled a bit trying to find the doorknob and unlocked it. Running down the hall. I felt someone grab my arm and then I shrieked. Where do you think you're doing, runt? It was one of the alphas. I still need to talk to you, Ryder, you're a fucking idiot. Can you shut the hell up? I looked at the broken vase I threw earlier. I kicked down a chair and growled. You kiss her, then you tell her to forget about it and leave. You know, maybe if you weren't always nagging at me in my head, maybe I can actually fucking think straight. My voice rose and Dane went silent. Dane. I growled. Dane. Stupid wolf. Stupid emerald. Stupid Ryder. I'm the one that is fucking stupid. Language, when do you care? I sat down on the couch, putting my head in my hands. She needs to learn that I can't have a mate. At least, not yet. Father is coming for a visit. He always does. This time he actually sent me a decent voicemail. I got to get this shit cleaned up. Carter. Yes, Alphys, and someone to clean my office right away. I shut it off and then walked out of my office. I went down the hallway, I saw Emerald run down, and then I heard voices. Rumors are true then. You've got a bounty over that pretty little head of yours then. What did you do, you bad girl? I heard Emerald yelp and then I peeked my head. Alpha Alaric along with Alpha Mac had her cornered. Please and try not to cause trouble. I just want to go to but I'm not letting you go anywhere. Maybe if you're good I'll ask your Alpha to borrow you for a while, Alpha Mac spoke. Her head slanted down, trying not to feel their gaze. They held on her. What do you think about that? We heard you guys in his office. Are you the pack slut? Is that why he wishes to protect you? Maybe that's why you have a bounty on your head. Someone didn't get their time. I am no slut, she yelled out. Both men chuckled devilly and Ice or Ed. Chapter 16 Emerald. What do you think about that? We heard you guys in his office. Are you the pack slut? Is that why he wishes to protect you? Maybe that's why you have a bounty on your head. Someone didn't get their time. I am no slut, I screamed out. The voices around me just reminding me of Jarl. The Alphys started to chuckle. I heard a low growling and I felt the presence of the Alphys back away from me. Sniffing the air, it was Ryder, but his scent was smelt more dirty. Like a wild animal. He must be in his wolf form. I yelped a bit and the Alphys in front of me growled. Alpha Ryder, we have discussed and decided that this rouge could use our protection. The only requirement being she come with us. Their hearts slowed and I slid down the wall, curling myself into a ball. Then a snap. Like a stick, only it was the snap of a bone. One of them screamed and the other attacked. All I could hear was snarling and snapping of bones, mixed with the smell of blood. In fear I scrambled back into a corner and hearing crashes. Then to thumps. Bodies that hit the ground while the smell of the blood grew. I stiffened, only hearing their faint heartbeats. He did this. All by himself. Without a breath. I felt my heart rate quicken as I heard low growling come closer. I backed up into the wall, making me yelp, and the wolf was standing in front of me. I felt its breath on my face. Blood. Its breath had the smell on it. I was frozen. Dad. Pumpkin, you need to go. Go protect Mommy. Daddy is gonna. A wolf had jumped him. Its fangs clutching my dad's neck. Digging into it. I screamed and began to run. I whimpered at the thought and I heard him shift. Emerald, I felt his hand hesitantly touch mine, making me pull back and scoot away from him. Emerald, I'm sorry. I didn't mean any of that. At the office didn't I, monster. Ryder, monster. Her voice hit like a silver bullet. I looked back at the two injured Alphys and cursed under my breath. Emerald, listen to me. I didn't mean anything in the office. She was slowly rocking herself back and forth. Monster, her voice croaked. With my arm I wiped away the blood that dripped from my mouth. Her body was shaking. She seemed pale. Sweat was forming in her forehead. Emmy, I'm not a monster, don't call me that. She screamed and stared to sob. My eyebrows knotted together. Shess, impossible. How the hell do I even? Allow me, no, wait. Too late. Dane took over my body and he sat down next to her. Am I a monster to you? She nodded and went away from his touch. Then allow me to talk to KYA. I can help you. She seemed to be fighting with herself again and her head went up. Dane, I'm scared, she whispered. Emerald's voice changing to be softer. It's okay to be afraid. I didn't like the way those men touched you and I have to protect what's mine, he growled a bit at the end. His hand had cupped her soft cheek and she leaned in at the touch now. I'm sorry if I scared you. I know everything seems scary, especially when you're in the dark. Allow me to be your light. Your protector. He wrapped an arm around her and she put her head on his chest. I'm not afraid of not being able to see the enemy. I'm afraid of not being able to see past darkness. He kissed her forehead, making her sigh in content. Let me out. No, you're not gonna let me come back out. I know you. Just let me talk to her, Wolf. I took over and she shifted, probably sensing Dane gone. My human and I do not wish to speak to you, her voice croaked as she went out of my grip. She scooted and leaned against the corner of the wall. Please just let me explain. I think Emerald's given you many chances. You're a monster. Simple as that. She stood up at this point and started to walk, stopping as her foot hit a body. The alpha had groaned under her. She stiffened and her head drifted down. Just look at what you did, Alpha Ryder. You have made Emerald and I see our past when we were it's supposed to. You're gonna have to do something to make up for it. I clenched my teeth and she started to walk away. Any pointers? She tilted her head towards me and I saw a tear sliding down her face. Just stay away from me, she then ran away. Emerald, what did he do to you? Ray asked as I walked into her room, slamming the door. I don't wish to talk about it, I grumbled and found my way over to the bed where she seemed to be sitting. Come here. I felt her hand on my back and she embraced me. We stayed there for a bit and I laid back against the headboard. HES, a monster. And he knows it. Chapter 17, Ryder, so no one can read Braille. She is gonna have to read it. I shook my head, running a hand through my hair. Well, find someone who can't translate. Surely someone in this pack knows Braille. The pack warrior stared at me in fear, hesitating. Alpha. W, we've never had a B, blind person in this pack and no one has been exposed to their writing either. Then why are you still here? Send someone to go and find someone that can read Braille. I growled. He yelped and ran out of the room. I stared at the letter written with Braille letters and grumbled under my breath. This better not be that Jarl guy. Hey, about that. Emerald didn't tell us everything. And how do you know that? I kinda talked to KYA when you guys were sleeping. By the way, KYA said I have to make you sleep on the couch. But it's my room. Just listen for one skish. I groaned and then stared back at the note. It was just shaded to dots to me. I ran a hand over it, feeling the grooves. Someone then knocked on the door. Come in, then door opened and then one of my guards threw in a man. Guess. He seemed skinnier. He looked weak as he fell straight to the ground on his knees. When's the last time you actually gave him water? Yesterday, Sarai nodded, dismissing the guard, and went over to my fridge. I pulled out a bottle of water and crouched down in front of him. I uncapped it. Here he looked up at me, his eyes red and bags underneath them. He grabbed it and starts to chug it down. Slow down, Novo witch. Slow sips helps you, he listened, taking slow sips and breathed out. Why are you being nice? I got up and grabbed the note from my desk and passed it to him. Red Eye commanded. His eyes narrowed at me as his fingers scanned the paper. Halfway through he stopped. It's good that you didn't show my M this, I growled a bit. Okay, Gel, a Salfa, chill, what does the note say, Rouge? His breath stopped a bit and he paused. A bird has flight. A bee does too. But the wolf without sight is a wolf without life. He stopped, taking heavy breaths. Like father, like daughter, I murder, you murder. At least that's what you did to your mother. His grip on the paper tightened. When the clock strikes 2. You get a chance. When the clock strikes 3, you'll hang. Meet in the clearing, where son, unlike father, almost met his end. And come alone, my dear daughter, till end a growl emerged from my chest as he continued. Farewell, Jay. He gulped, taking in a deep breath. Teeth clenching. The note was established to Emerald. I think he thinks I'm dead since he didn't want anyone else to know but her. Where did he learn Braille from? Her mother had taught him, and I. Wait, I narrowed my eyes at him. What is it now? His eyes had scanned the paper once more. Like father, like daughter, I murder, you murder. At least that's what you did to your mother. His eyes widened as he reread the statement. HES. Gonna kill her, her voice croaked as her head fell down in defeat. Emerald's hand was on the writing, taking every bit of info on it. Her lip trembled a bit as she was unable to find the words. Jace stood behind her and cautiously wrapped his arms around her waist, turning him a growl from me. He pulled away immediately, putting his hands up, and I rolled my eyes and stared back at Emerald. You are not going to meet him, her face scrunched up and hurt as if she'd been stabbed. I have to. This is my mother we are talking about. I will not allow her. Yes, a woman who allowed you to see death. A woman who could not protect you from becoming blind, a woman who left her child with a pack she was thrown out of a woma. It was not her fault. She is still my mother, my birth giver. I should give her my life. She snapped, growling. I'm not gonna allow you to go on a suicide mission. You are crazy. Why am I crazy? You're the one who has been acting crazy all the time I frickin' been here, which was barely 2 months. Oh, so I'm crazy now, Yes, the big and mighty alpha who can throw me with the rouges. You know I don't see that as such a bad idea. Emerald, I swear if you. A knock at the door suddenly broke our attention away from our argument. Come in. A warrior came in, seeming as pale as a ghost. Alpha, your father is here, he said a bit fast, but I caught it. My fist clenched and I glared at Emerald. We will talk about this later, I got to fucking take care of rather important shit. I walked out the room, slamming the door shut. Emerald, rather important shit. He screamed out, slamming the door behind him. I whimpered at his words and heard a voice. Let me guess you still want to do it. You know, get your mom, Jace quietly said. I tilted my head to his direction, nodding my head. Be ready by 2 o'clock, chapter 8. Jarl to the side, it's 230, should be here by now, Jace growled. I nodded in response and right on cue a voice. I keep to my word. You should know that by now, son. I felt the air get tense as I felt more wolves present. They stood in a circle in the trees. You brought an army to face a blind woman and a beaten warrior. My so-called father chuckled a bit in harmony to the other rouges around. Emmy, I haven't come to attack you two. Why would I hurt my king? You did it all those years ago. Why stop now? I spat. I sensed him right in front of me. He chuckled more and then I felt a hand on my cheek, stroking it. I heard Jace growling. Son, I thought you were on my side. We are family. You stopped being family the day Emerald went blind, Jace sneered. I heard Jarl growl in annoyance and sighed, taking a hand off my cheek. Anyways, the deal, yes. He stated. Where is my mother? I heard him walking and then he mumbled something. A new scent. Then a muffled scream. Mom. I clenched my teeth. Let her go. I screamed. A deal. Have you not understood the letter I sent you, dear Emmy? Another muffled scream from her. My fist clenching. I'll do anything, just let her go. I then heard Jay scream and then a body hit the ground. Stop it. His breath slowed. Yes, unconscious. Like I said, only you are supposed to hear this, no one else. I heard them dragging him away, and I bit my inner cheek. What is your deal, Jarl? My head jerked to the side as if a hand came into contact with it, smacking me in the mouth. My hand went up to it as I felt the blood fill my mouth. I am your father. You call me your father. He screamed. I bit my lip, nodding. Try again. What is your deal, father? I stuttered on my words, and I can almost see him smirking like he does every time he did something right. Oh, my only daughter, your mother and I have been talking. Well, actually, I've only been talking most of the time. That's beside the point, for he seems to be walking around me, circling me. Come with me. And your mother can leave. A soul for a soul. A life for a life. A prisoner for a prisoner. I shuddered at his words, and then I heard a ding. Time's up. I'll give you today's time, my love. With that, his scent disappeared as of the others, including my mother's. I held my hands out, searching for anything and nothing. Vampire deception. I Drake Mason and EY Gwet, as an undocumented changeling and forced to pose as a low-level witch. Where's Jace? Jace. My voice seemed to come out weak as I wiped away a free tear. Jace. HS gone, KYA whispered. At least he won't be starved or beaten. I wouldn't be too sure about that. Your mother is in custody. I gulped and then started to walk back. Do you even know where you're going? No, I don't. Helping would be nice, though. Hey, you and me are blind. Jace led us. I sighed at her response and tried to follow our scents. I felt like I've been walking for hours, when it's been mere minutes. Eventually, I did find my way back to the main pack area. I cheered a bit in my mind and started to walk towards where I think the pack house is. Not that I could see it coming, but I bumped into someone. I stepped back, hearing them growl. "Who are you? Who are you? What are you doing on pack territory?" The voice was rough and deep. I yelped and he gripped my arm. "Guards." He yelled and I heard some movements. Two hands had gripped my shoulders and I felt the person behind me. "Alpha Moon. What is the problem here?" "Alpha. Wait, Moon. Oh. This Rouge had trespassed onto these lands. Lock her up." "Sir, this is just a misunderstanding. There is no misunderstanding. She's a Rougean policy is to kill her or to lock her up and starve her." I whimpered at his tone and then another voice. "Father." I immediately froze as a guard that held me in place left and I felt his presence behind me. "Ryder, this Rouge has trespassed onto your territory. How can you allow this? Guards and trackers should be along the border making sure no one gets in." He yelled back. His tone aggressive and his grip on me tightened, making me wince. Then the grip loosened and then fell off of me. My hand went to the spot, rubbing it. "She is with me. She is mine. Sorry. My prisoner and I choose what I want to do with them. She could escape at any time, Ryder. You are a fool." "No, for she is blind, so I let her wander since she has no sense of where she is going." I felt Ryder's hand wrap around my waist and pull me into him, making my breath catch itself. His father hummed a bit and I felt his cold gaze on me. Not that I can see his gaze. It's like a new fifth sense I grew instead of my sense of sight. The sense of seeing things without seeing them. It's weird. "Fine. Do what you must, but I say you starve her," and with that he walked away. I let out a sigh of relief and then Ryder came close to my ear. "Now, kitten, where were you at the hours of 2 and 3? I gulped, feeling his hand tightened on my waist. Chapter 19. Mommy. I was staring to run towards the treehouse Jace had built with Daddy. I then felt someone grab me, lifting me up. I squealed and saw it was Daddy. "Hey, Emmy, where are you going, pumpkin? Mommy is in the treehouse and Jace is trying to get up there. I need to protect me and Mommy's territory. But that is Jace and my territory." He corrected me, putting me down and running towards the treehouse. "Mommy, watch out." I screamed. I saw her and Jace running around as Jace was chasing her. That's when Daddy ran up, grabbing Mommy by her waist and lifting her up. She giggled and then out of nowhere Jace had tackled me. "Hey, Jace. No fair. Get off of me." I was laying on my stomach as he was sitting on my back. "You're a fatty. Uncle Mac." I got the beast take over the Tory territory. Dad had repeated. He then chucked Mommy over the shoulder, carrying her to the pool. She shrieked as he threw her in. "Nuo." I screamed and then Jace had done the same thing. "Emmy, you're the fatty." I hit at his back, trying to let me go, and he threw me into the pool as well. I felt someone's arms wrap around me and pulled me up. I looked into Mommy's eyes as they were filled with determination. "Let's get our treehouse back," she said, and we both charged. I said stop. I snapped out of my thoughts, my sense of the presence warming back. I gasped, feeling a bit wobbly, and then someone steadying me. What the hell was that? Ryder's voice was rough and drained. Did you see that?" I whispered, and he growled, making me step away from him. He then took an aggressive step forward, grabbing the back of my neck and making me walk forward. "Ryder, Restio, stop, you're hurting me." I whined. I felt us entering the pack house and people whispering and mumbling. This only made him want to go faster, as we were basically at a fast-paced jog. I kept stumbling, but his hold on me held me. I whined and then sensed someone in front of us. "Oh, Ryder. Ray, get out of my way." He growled back and I yelped at his tone. Her body seemed stiff and not frightened by his tone. "Let go of Emerald before you do something stupid." Her voice came back calm and assuring. I felt him squeeze the back of my neck more. "She has told lies to me, sister. She must be punished." "Ryder," I said, "let go of her before you do something stupid. She seems to take a step forward." A cautious step. In an outrage, Ryder went forward, and then I heard a crash and Ray groaned. He pushed her into the wall. "Ryder, stop." I cried out. We walked into a new room and he pushed me inside. I heard the door slam shut and then he locked it. I tumbled back trying to get away, and the heat grabbed at me and pushed me against the wall. He trapped me in between his arms. I cowled at move. His hot breath trailed down to my neck. This is your punishment for telling lies, for doing what you weren't supposed to. Disobeying my orders, his voice was sinister. I then felt something sharp go along my neck and to my shoulder. His teeth. I gasped, knowing what he was doing. Why, you're gonna regret this, yo, HES lost it. His teeth circled in one spot and then his head went back a bit and he seemed to be observing something. Dylan is no more. You are not Dylan's, for you are mine. I screamed, feeling his teeth sink into my neck. It felt as if daggers went through my skin. He dug in deeper with his teeth and I cried out. My hands had found his head trying to pull and pack, but with one hand he got them both above my head. I felt his teeth go out of my skin and I felt drowsy. He let go of my hands and one found the bite mark. My hand, still shaking, touched it and I felt the warm liquid. That's when I fell to the floor. I watched as her body had hit the floor with a thud and soon a pool of blood and surrounded by her neck. I closed my eyes and then opened them, feeling them turn back to their normal color. My fangs grew back to the normal teeth and my vision was blurred. I blinked my eyes a few times and then stared back at the girl on the floor. Shit, I scrambled down and stared at her wide-eyed. No. Shit. Fuck. I checked her pulse and saw it was beating. Slowly. I got up, starting to pace and running a hand through my hair. I stared at my hands, seeing the claws go back down and seeing blood. Her blood. On my hands. I grabbed the nearest object and chucked it across the room. Damn it, that vase was expensive. I started to breathe heavily and then a loud knocking at the door. Alpha. I panicked and then went to the door. Opening it. It was a guard. He immediately tackled me, making me growl and grab him by the shoulder, chucking him over. With my back to the door, someone else had put me in a headlock. I heard more men come in as I tried to get out of their grip. They slammed me to the ground with my arms behind my back. Lock him in his cell, he needs to calm down, Carter. I felt my eyes shift as they lifted me up with my hands tied as my fangs came back out. I snapped at him and his face still was stone. Yeah, listen, buddy. Go cool down, and can I get a doctor in here? His attention went to Emerald and then to men had helped pick her up. Something in me made me furious at this point as I kept kicking and growling, trying to get to her. Soon enough I felt a sharp pain and then I went under. Darkness.